Okay, guys, listen, you've honestly got to help me here. Who are these fools that are telling South Africans that life is better overseas? My wife's car wasn't starting well, so we went to this local place, and to get the battery changed. And there's this lady, and she was telling us all about how her life really sucks because, she thinks she's just going to go and move overseas and, it's going to be so much better and, everybody is going to welcome her with wide open arms and like, thank goodness you've arrived in America or in Britain or in Australia or wherever she was going to go. Listen, guys, I've been there. I have lived overseas. I've traveled extensively. I've done all of that. And for any of you that have got this thing in your head that it is so much better overseas, right? You are completely wrong. If you've got fellow South African friends that are telling you how much better it is and blah, 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 they are probably over-exaggerating. Because what they're not telling you is the cost of living overseas. Do you know, living in places like, California. I lived in California for a bit. A raw chicken costs $12 in one of those supermarkets. $12 for a chicken. Raw chicken. Right? The cost of living overseas is insane. And if you were to take, the kind of life that you have here in South Africa, and you try to replicate that over there, you almost certainly would not be able to afford it. Almost certainly. It is tough out there, guys. And remember, South Africans do have a great reputation for hard work and everything like that. But that's because we're willing to start at the bottom when we leave our country, right? The amounts of South Africans out there that are they're living in a tiny, tiny little cooped up place often in a country that has either got deadly everything, Australia, or no sun, England, right? Or all of the above and some extra, in America. I mean, there's no yellow brick road, guys. You got to understand that wherever you go, you are going to have to graft and you're going to have to do stuff that you would never do in South Africa. You're going to have to wash your own clothes, right? You're going to have to do all that kind of stuff that right now is not something that you necessarily do. I know there are some of you, before you jump down my throat, that actually do your own housework and all that kind of stuff. But guys, it is real out there. You got to put your own petrol in, literally. Can you believe that? Like, I still freak out now coming back to South Africa when somebody comes to my window and says, "Can I put your petrol in?" It's like, well, hold on, isn't that my job? It is not better out there. And also, let me just tell you, from a business point of view, from a opportunity point of view, I think a lot of people need to just get over the excuses. Like, stop blaming BEE and stop blaming being this color or that color and white monopoly capital. I mean, for God's sakes, those guys all operate on a different level to you, right? The thing that bothers you the most, you are not in that game. You are not even near that game. That game is not something that you get to play. If it bothers you, you are not in that game. Right? And the reason is because all the big headline things that everyone's always fighting about and everyone's always arguing about, there's some rich people that are playing chess up there, right? And the rest of us are getting involved, but we're watching the game from afar. We're like spectators, and we get really angry about our team. Like football supporters, basically, we are. We're not on that field. We're not the ones kicking around. Right, but we're happy to stand in the grounds and say, yeah, man, if that guy could only defend better, everything would go better, and if only we could afford this player, then, everything would be better with our team. It just doesn't work that way. So my advice to you guys, and also to those guys that are just handing out the overseas is better propaganda, let me just tell you, South Africa is chock-a-block full of opportunity if you know where to look, right? If you start ignoring all the stuff that's going on up there, you know, all the big political stuff and everything like that, and you just look around you, you know, things can change. It's amazing because, you know, it just reminds me of a comment that I left for a really awesome little post that was in the comments in one of my other posts, where this person, I'm not sure if they were male or female, but they said they started a cleaning company, and the big problem is that they don't have capital to be able to, you know, afford the vacuum cleaners and bits and pieces that you need. And do you know, that was indicative to me of why we need to start sharing information with each other, why we need to be acting like one team in South Africa, white, black, colored, Indian, whoever you are, just one team. Because the answer was very simple. Complicated in its application, but simple, right? The answer was, when you sell your services, when you advertise your services, you send the customer a letter saying, that's fantastic, I'm giving you this fantastic price because you just need to be able to ensure that I have a vacuum cleaner available and all of the cleaning products. And then I can come and do all the cleaning for you. This happens every single day overseas. Cleaning companies overseas, you are, as part of your contract with a cleaning company, in many cases obliged to go and buy particular like cleaning equipment and cleaning materials. You as the homeowner, if you were to use a cleaning company, would have to do that. It's not something that anybody's ever considered over here because it's just not done. But who made those rules? Who was the one that said you can't make the person take responsibility for the equipment and the cleaning? What that means is that theoretically, for a cleaning company, if you wanted to really make more money than your average cleaner, theoretically what you need to do is you need to use some of these free tools, you know, like the previous post with the website, and, you know, use ChatGPT, the free ones, or Quen, like I said yesterday, you know, to give you some guidance. But then actually in reality, all you need to do is you need to go and spend 150 to 200 Rand, if that, on a branded shirt. Get yourself a logo in Canva, which is free. Once again, you can use free tools there, and get that logo downloaded onto your phone, send it over to the printing company and get one shirt done. So when you pitch up to work, right, you're branded, like this over here, you're branded, right? Immediately, you are different from 99.9% of the other service providers in your sector, right? And it doesn't matter how many there are. It doesn't matter how cluttered or, you know, how full that competitive market is. You are not playing in that game anymore. You're playing in a slightly different game because you're branded. So then you go into Facebook, and you go into Instagram, and you use that free tool called Canva, and you just start putting messages out in all the groups in your local area. You make sure that you do it only in your local area. Every day, 3 times a day if you have to, you just bang those free posts on there saying, I can do your cleaning, it's going to be so cheap because I don't have, because you provide me with this, this, and this, and this, and this. So look, I'm sorry that this is a bit of a ranty video, but really, honestly guys, like, we are South Africans, we have got huge potential, we just need to be unleashed. We just need to have somebody take the blinkers off, because we can see that somebody's put blinkers on over here and all the answers are just here to the left and the right. So to do is just have somebody just pull these blinkers off and you will fly and flourish even if you don't have any money. Anyway, that's me for now.